I think in the final session it would be really interesting to just, and this can be super fast and it involves all of you guys, to go around, to go through the proposals and like it's a minute each, and just really say like, what's the general interest in pursuing anything like this? Is there anyone who's actually like, basically like, what are potential next steps of this program, of this project? If, for example, you're currently like resource constraint or design constraint within people in the project, say that too, like, what is kind of like the factor holding you back? And this can be really fast, but like, it would be really useful to know just like, if someone is interested in making this happen, what would they really need to, what would they need to do to make this happen? Is this already something that is now being under development? As I heard, like one of the AI Objectives Institute's projects is potentially basically figuring out what could people after this workshop do if they want to see this realized, what would need to happen. And we're starting with Natasha, Robin, Philip, Cairo, Alex, Ryan, G, Nick, and Eduardo.
1 minute. I think we'd want to ask around privately if anybody's interested before you work out a more formal proposal. But if you manage to contact some organization who is interested, then you try to write out some more detailed idea. So if anybody knows this, we might be interested, let us know. Otherwise, we probably won't do anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, so the back of the envelope calculations that we did here for launching something like that suggests that we would actually need quite a lot of capital to make this happen. So that could be just too prohibitive to actually even launch a pilot.
One thing you can consider related to this, I know that there's at least one department at Harvard where the way they do tenure is they ask everyone who's the best person in this field, and if it's not the person they had hired who's up for tenure, they fire that person and hire the new person.
Seriously?
So you might be able to find an institution that is aligned with this and has a lot of capital.
Wow, I had no idea.
Wow. Okay, any other bits of like, let's say, these presentations will also be published. So let's say like someone sees this and is like, okay, I really want to see this project happen. Anything in particular that's preventing you from doing this? What would they do? What are potential next steps after this?
You'd write a more formal proposal.
You'd write a more
specific plan. But it wouldn't be that different.
Okay, great. And they will contact one of you guys. Cool. Okay, number 1, down. Second, the mystery person. Then Amanda, Sean, Isabella, Aurora, and Kevin. What's the current state of the proposal? What are potential next steps? Have you discussed this at all? And if you want to contribute, how?
I think probably it's to build a prototype that people can actually run themselves. So that's, I don't know, like us spending a couple hours doing that. So if you're down to help, maybe let us know. And then beyond that, I guess something like if you would be interested to use a theory of change product or like want to test it out, like do user testing on it. Yeah, anything else to add?
Well, I think we have a specific opportunity to implement this in the context of the social sector in Hong Kong. So we're part of an initiative called the Impact Data Consortium chain, which is a data for Hong Kong by Hong Kong kind of construct. And over the past couple of years, we've been building capacity of civil society organizations to express their theory of change and now to start collecting claims about what they're doing to achieve the outcomes that they're claiming, so it's a great test bed for this, and we've got all the connections and everything. So we'd love to do that.
Anyone else wants to chime in? Is there anyone in particular who you like to entice to this project?
No, in particular, like people are interested in this. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
We have many more proposals or institutions like that exist are willing to implement it and see what happens, the faster this will go. Yeah. Basically. So if you know people that want to try out a generative agent for potential policy proposals, let us know.
Wonderful. Okay, great. Next one up, we have decision auctions, David and Kate. Any next steps?
The nice thing is it's already working, doesn't require a lot of software, and so it's already built. I think one thing that could be useful is just more educational explainers of how other people can learn from this and use it and just make it easier to understand.
Wait a second, you don't have to speak. You wanted that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just to add on to that and to fulfill my obligation here. No, I do think that there is a cultural shift that would need to happen to make it possible. Like I mentioned earlier, you would really have to understand your own desires and be able to say those explicitly and also attach a value to them. And that's a huge ask, I think, of a lot of people. So I think there would be that. And then also just, making the negotiation explicit is also not something that people are used to. So I think people would need practice and kind of cultural examples and, to make that change.
There is this one technique of binary search that allows you to find how much you value things. That's very interesting as well.
Cool. Okay, anyone, you want to interact with this? Okay.
I have a comment, which is, I saw the presentation, everything here, but I could not go home and implement this right now. So like an actionable thing might be a web page with just like a one-page thing saying, hey, if you want to do this, here's the simplest possible way to do it that you can't get wrong.
A recipe. Great.
There is a blog post explainer that I can direct people to as well.
Yeah, please link it. Okay, cool. Yes, Robin?
I mean, as a professional economist who's done things like this, I have to say, like, there is a research question here of why people are reluctant. I don't think it's just unfamiliarity or difficulty in calculating. I think there is a more fundamental reluctance, and it's be good to understand it. Well,
Cool. Okay, next one up, DKML. If you want to make this, like, is there an interest of you guys in pursuing this? If so, what would it take for you guys to do this? Is there anyone in particular that you want to attract to this project?
I think there was 2 action points we discussed, thank you. One was to do a little write-up of this thing to maybe organize the IDs better and have that online so that anyone who's interested can contribute. And I think then you mentioned that PL might be able to, we could apply for a small grant to at least fund the prototype.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to make a Lurk-based prototype and build a little system, we could try to seek a grant for it. I think we could do something even more lightweight than that, which is, we could just start a Discord channel in the Lurk Discord and just talk through the requirements. We could probably bang out something that proves the concept. And if we can't muster the excitement to do that, then maybe it's dead in the water. But
if people are interested in pursuing this or being a part of this, what's the best way that they can join?
Join the Discord channel and Lurk Discord that will exist if we feel the energy to make that. Which I'm thinking that we will. I'm getting shamed into it as I say this.
Great. I mean, the best way you can, I guess at least the distribute information is either by sending it to me and I can send it to people, and I'll do like a little roundup after this. Or by putting it into our Discord.
We have a thread in your Discord on the channel for this, for our group. In that thread, we will decide on the name for a channel that I will make in Lurk Discord, and anyone can get the forwarding information for the future discussion there.
Wonderful. Okay, very actionable.
What's that? How much would I pay not to do it? I would pay 10 slices of bread.
Ooh. Okay, anyone here with 10 slices of bread? Know your discussions. Okay, digital ghosts. What's your interest in pursuing this? Is this already happening? What do you need to make it happen? And who do you need to make it happen?
So we would love funding. If you're interested in actually funding this, come talk to us. If you are, can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, so we will build this out. There's a couple different ways that we can approach this based on the interest. So if you have thoughts around how this could actually be applied to different organizations, come talk to us. If you are interested in funding, also that would be a great conversation to have. Especially also looking for advice around how can we develop IP that could be spun out in parallel to create for-profit entities that come out of a nonprofit. So if you have thoughts around that, also would love to chat.
Yeah, I think one thing to point out is a risk to this is not having access to open weighted models. Like right now, it's entirely dependent on OpenAI fine-tuning models for a lot of money.
Right, that is true. We, as AOI, we would be able to get ways around being able to fine-tune models, but I would be much more interested in a completely open-weighted model. Some of these apparently exist that we could use also. So again, that's another parallel conversation that could change the budget and time scoping of this, and also what can be open source and what can be for the for-profit entity.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I suggest you add an email address to the slide deck.
Yes.
It's like a contact mechanism. This is,
Yes.
I think, going for everyone here. I'm super happy to make individual connections, but
Yes,
the easiest way is, to add emails here or to use our Discord.
Yeah.
Cool. Then next one we have the Noam Hardy Prize. I guess for this, to sum up, maybe what I would say is. We have 10K committed, as I said, from Agoric. Thank you for kickstarting the prize. Ideally, what we'd like is to have it given 10K annually, just because currently prizes are just high enough. We're giving 1K annually for actually asking someone to submit something on all of these things. Just won't attract, I think, the attention that this really deserves. At the same time, we can start small as well, but ideally, we are looking for other folks that are interested in donating and increasing a price like this, so we can actually give 10K annually rather than having a total sum of 10K currently available for this. So if that's you, or if you know someone who cares deeply about usable computer security, then this could be an interesting bit to contribute to. Also, I should say, if we are looking for, really have people get people speaking engagements like the winners at the major kind of computer human interaction conferences or usable privacy and security conferences. If you have other communities like that, that I think goes also a long way to be able to just offer really prestigious speaking opportunities for the winners to present their work. And then finally, we wanted to reach out to a few communities for press releases and announcements. So if you know of communities that care a ton about users, usability and computer security usability, those would be really useful for us to know. So we know that we can share the prize announcement for people to apply and the winners in these groups, because there's probably a lot more than we currently know of that are in that. And so maybe I'll also slot that in as an action item. Great. And anything else I forgot from this group in terms of action asks?
I was just going to flag that you should reach out to me and Juan in the email thread and protocolize the chronology review. And I also tagged Danny from Nation, who can probably also know.
Great. Wonderful. Okay, good. Very actionable. Thank you very much, Evan. And yeah, I guess, this is happening now, I should say, as a state. We're definitely making it happen. It just depends on how big can this be. And I'm guessing Foresight would have some kind of coordinating function in this. But yeah, so if you're interested in contributing to this in any way, feel free to reach out to me.
What are we doing now? Right now, we're trying to answer a lot of the open questions, which is a lot of legal research in the initial steps, looking for collaborators, and things that are really helpful that I'm already getting a lot of this weekend is just ideas, feedback, criticism, papers, anything you think is relevant to this line of thinking. And yeah, you can find me on Discord, or my email is just anna@futureoflife.org. Yeah, more generally looking for people with different expertise to contribute to this at the moment. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, great. Thanks. That is the final bit, unless someone else has something to contribute. Yes.
The mystery slide, I don't know who put it up, but I am very interested and also know some people who are actively working on that topic. I'm on Discord. Find me.
Mystery person, you have a collaborator. It's a mystery slide at the beginning where someone proposed another topic.
It was actually generated by our
by the ghost. The ghost contributed a slide, so please ask the ghost and make it happen. Okay, wonderful. Well, I guess with this, really, we are pretty much at the end of this. We are going to and early, which is really nice. I think the only bits still on the agenda are, me thanking you guys, then us taking a photo, and then we can move on to just fun discussions and like a few like workshop afternoon drinks. I should really say, I guess I want to finish how I started with a few like thank yous. First, I want to thank Protocol Labs, Agoric, and I want to thank 50 Years for hosting us and for sponsoring us and making this event possible. Thank you so much. It's really much appreciated. Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, I think it means a lot to be able to pay people's ways here and so forth, and to enable the space for collaboration. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I should say, in terms of next steps, I will be sending around like kind of like a follow-up email with a few specific key items, and I'll do that tomorrow. So anything you really want me to include in there, holler at me today. Just send it my way, and it will make its way into the email. And so that's, I think, the best way for us to, really distribute information in a kind of like centralized way, I guess. Then, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. This is one of our annual workshops in the Intelligent Cooperation Group. And, in addition to this workshop, we have workshops in all of our other groups as well, which I already discussed on molecular nanotechnology, biotechnology, nanotech, and so forth. The next one coming up is on whole brain emulations with Anders Sandberg, as I mentioned, early next year. So if you're interested in these, then please go for it. Finally, this prize will be available. So if you're interested in applying to that, you're also super welcome to. And I think one thing that I just want to mention to you is like one way in which we can really support people here, and we did in fact support many people by coming here, is through our fellowships. So our fellowship is currently open. It's available from our website, and you can apply to become a fellow. This pretty much means anything you'd like it to mean, to the extent that we do that pretty individually by working with people hand in hand to figure out what it is that they'd like. This can, I don't know why this website is showing it on the computer, but in a nutshell, the fellowship is a button that is available from the top of our website, if it's shown correctly. But yeah, in a nutshell, you can really apply to the fellowship. We will then reach out to you for the ones where it worked out correctly. And what it comes with is, potential professional exposure via podcast interviews and so forth, and really us sharing your updates with our really growing community. Then travel paid invitations to workshops like this, and then one-on-one mentor introductions to relevant funders, senior scientists, and so forth in your area. There are a ton of fellows here. You're welcome to ask them how their experience was. And then on the other end of this, if you're interested, we are a nonprofit, so that means that we're entirely dependent on donations. If you are interested in supporting people, traveling to these workshops, in supporting people, becoming a fellow and actually being connected to other mentors, and us basically keeping these events, fellowships, and prizes running, we really, really welcome your donations. You can do so on the website, which will look differently if you go on it than if I go on it now. And we take all major cryptocurrencies, and we take all major non-crypto, more fiat way of supporting research. And it really, you can dedicate it very specifically to areas that you care about. So thanks a lot for those of you who are already doing this. It means the world to us. It means that we can do things like that. And many people here in this room who are doing this. So thanks a lot to all of you guys. Finally, one maybe event that could be of potential interest is Vision Weekend, which is our annual member gathering. That's at the end of this year. And that will happen in a castle in France, outside of Paris, in November 18 and 19. So if you're around, you can apply to attend for free and through the website. And it's basically the kind of like top projects across our computing, biotech, nanotech, and other tracks get together to kind of report out what happened throughout the year. And in addition to a France event, we also have one in San Francisco, and that's happening on December 3 and 4. And they're in really wonderful events. One is at a castle, one is at the Internet Archive, at Future Ventures, like where you can have like a private space gallery tour, and at a few other locations here. And that's usually like a fun way to really collaborate with people across different sectors. So if you're into that, which is not everyone, then I really welcome you to join this. There's sponsorship tickets, and then there's application-based tickets. So very similar to workshops like this. Okay, you can, if you have specific ways in which you'd like to contribute, then please email me, and we're always open to suggestions. Many of these workshops are generated from previous workshops. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. From now on, we can have some fun. And before that, I would love to ask you guys to go outside for a little photo. So thanks, everyone.